Okay, yeah, how are you? We are live, and I hope you, yeah, you're welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, good morning. So, this morning
Morning.
we're going to be chatting how everything finance with yourself. So, it's good to have you with us this morning. How are you
Thank
doing?
you very much. I'm good. Thank you very much.
Okay, just a moment. So, good morning to everyone. Today, we're going to be talking everything finance. So, we have our finance guru with us, which is Ogbeyalu Udeala-okoye. She's going to introduce herself much better, a little bit. But from myself, Susanna Olatunji Kamalafe, and the Executive Director of the African Caribbean Irish Chambers of Commerce. So at the African Caribbean Area Chambers of Commerce, we provide support services and service membership led for African Caribbean businesses. So if you are from within that continent of Africa or that islands of Caribbean and you're in business, living in Ireland or living in UK, Northern Ireland, and you love to know more about businesses, how do we support you? Or if you're thinking of doing business in Africa, and you want to get more knowledge and more information with regard to how do I go to Africa to do business. And when I say Africa, I mean Africa, not just one country there or one nation. I mean the entire African continent itself. So come to us. We provide those services and support. But today, we are going to be having on a weekly basis our finance guru. And she's going to be teaching us and talking to us and educating us on finance. So you're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'd
So
like to
we,
introduce myself again.
yeah, just introduce yourself to us.
Yeah, my name is Ogbeyalu Udeala-okoye. I'm an accountant specialized in forensic accounting and a risk and financial analyst. I run an NGO, Wild Women Global, where I mentor women with in startup businesses how to take care of their finances. I also was with Sherry Blair Foundation for 3 years, mentoring women in startup businesses and already existing businesses on how to take care of their finances. I have worked in the financial department in several NGOs, and I've gained a lot of knowledge along the way. And eventually, to start a business, you have to think of knowing financial literacy and all the components in financial literacy. So that is why I am here today to talk you through what financial literacy is all about. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you very much for that. So the first thing we're going to do is that our focus is on micro, small African Caribbean businesses that are owned and established here in Highland. So if you fall into that category, here is our financial guru. She's going to really, really educate us, and we're going to take it step by step. Each week, we're going to go to the nitty. So the first thing today we're doing is that what is financial literacy in itself? When we say financial literacy, what are you really what do we mean by that?
Thank you very much. Financial literacy is the understanding of the financial components. Okay, what is finance? I'll say in a basic term, finance is taking care of your money. How do you save? How do you spend? How do you invest? And how do you keep your money safe? So, financial literacy is the cognitive understanding of financial components and skills, such as budgeting, investing, borrowing, paying taxes too, and personal financial management. I would say running of the home, because at the end of the day, after running your business, you still have to run your home. The absence of such skills is referred to as being financially illiterate, and it's a dent on your startup business. It's Without financial literacy, you're actually not going to be going far in your business. So we can actually start with the fundamental components of financial literacy, and the first thing would be budgeting. And when we talk about budgeting, what are we actually saying? We split the money into several, departments. We say spending, investing, maybe saving, maybe miscellaneous, maybe borrowing, and you have to create the right balance between all of them, amongst all of them. The primary uses of money, would allows individuals to better allocate their income. But while
So,
allocating,
sorry for coming in there. So
yeah,
let's say, for example, you're a small micro business. So when we say micro businesses, a one-man business or somebody just starting up a business, whatever business they are doing, but they're just starting up a business. What is the best way you think they can budget? So when I mean budgeting, like, okay, I have a small micro business I'm starting up. After registration, I'm either thinking of getting an office or even paying for themselves, because no, you know yourself, normally as a micro business, the first thing you have to figure out is, how do I pay myself a salary from this business? How do I make money that I can pay myself a salary? So, where is should be the starting point of a small micro business, a micro small business? I'll say micro small business. What should be their small starting point in terms of budgeting their finance, either for renting premises or for buying stationaries? Those are the little things they want to get, their office materials,
yeah,
office equipment. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. The first and foremost, yeah. Are you running your business from the home, or are you gonna be renting a place? Is it a one-man business or is it a family business? These are the things you have to put into consideration first. Now, do you have the funds for it, or are you gonna borrow from the bank? Is the bank also willing to lend you money? Do you have the collateral to get a loan from the bank? That's another very important aspect you have to look at. And what's your business about? Have you done your research? Depending on where you live, what's your customer base? You have to think that is very, very important before you start a business. Now, you can't start a business where, I would give you an example in Africa, where there is water. Let's say everybody, there's the tap runs 247. There is water, plenty of it, and then you want to start a water business. How are you gonna do that? So the environment and the customers, your customer base is actually the first and foremost thing you have to think about. And then you think about the money. How much have you got? Are you going to sink everything in, or are you going to put some aside for a rainy day? Would you start bit by bit, or are you going to just start in bulk? okay, let's say you're starting from home, or you're starting from like some said, like some said, you're planning on renting a place. Do you have the right location? It's not about getting a place um that is expensive or probably in the highbrow area, but is it a place where you have a customer base? Are people going to be patronizing you? Are people actually looking forward to have? Do you actually stand out? Do you have what it takes, to be there? So these are the little things you have to think about. And insurance is very, very crucial, when it comes to a startup business. How does it work in wherever it is you're living? Because we're talking about Caribbean Africa here, right?
Yes.
And how does it work out in any part of Africa you are in? How does the insurance work out? You have to know the nitty gritty of everything. Find out from the insurance company. You know, there are the ups and downs of businesses. There could be a fire outbreak. Is the insurance company, are you covered for that? Are you covered for theft? Are you covered for natural disaster like a flood or something? You have to also find out from the insurance company if you're insured in all that. And then, yes, when you have the money, you set up your business, you got your customer base, you got that, and that is when you start with your, daily financial, I would say, sorting out your finances.
Yeah.
When all that is
Um,
sorted out, then that's when you come into the basic thing of financial literacy.
yeah. Thank you so much there, Ogbeyalu. Am I pronouncing that well? Ogbeyalu.
Yeah, Obeyalu
Is
is
it
fine. Yeah,
Ogbeyalu or Ogbeyalu? Ogba.
Obeya. Yeah.
Ogbeyalu. I'm trying now.
Yes,
Which
you are. You are.
so so for example, now we say budgeting. So let's just pick one aspect of budgeting. Let's pick location or venue. So let's say there's a business here in Ireland that is starting, and within the African Caribbean community. You mentioned something there that with what is happening with COVID now, a lot of people are doing business from home,
Yeah.
using their home as their starting point of business, creating an office space within their home, and
Yeah.
they want to manage their budget. Because when you start working from home now, when let's say you start up your business, you have to think of the electricity because you have to keep yourself warm. You have to trick up the lighting, because I work from home and I understand that you have to put on your lighting nearly all the time. um and then eating, normally when we go outside to work, you don't get to eat you're not eating the house when you're out. But now have to eat your house nearly all the hours if you're working from home. So if a business is working from home and they have to eat the houses, and then they are using their houses as an office space, so that means they might have to invest a little bit more money to create like a space that makes it look like an office, or makes it more conducive or so for them. So let's start with that kind of a budgeting for location. So let's say your house, or are you going to rent outside? If they're renting outside, what advice will you give them if somebody decide, okay, I'm working from home, or I'm going to rent my office outside my business? I need to rent an office in a, let's say, in Dublin, or they are working. We have 32 counties. They're renting in any of those counties. What would be the best advice you give them? And I want you to talk a little bit about the hubs, because a lot of people are using hubs now. So
Yeah.
is that the best way to start saving as a small business?
Yeah, as a small business, depending on your budget, right? I think it's best if it's going to be a small startup business. It's actually a great idea to start from home. And with the COVID situation, if you were doing your business outside, you rented a place, and because of the COVID situation, you now have to go back home. Oh yeah, you're going to be thinking of the lighting, the heating, like you said, and electricity and all that. But let's not forget that we are now saving money from transportation. Taking the commute, taking the bus. We're no longer going to be taking the bus, so that money can actually go into the heat. The electricity. Usually when we're working from home, we eat our own meal, we make our own meal. But when you have an office, probably outside, or you have a place outside, you just you have money set aside for going across to buy a sandwich or have your lunch and breakfast somewhere, and you find out that you're also saving on that one. Okay. And the heating of the house, you're going to have to meticulously find out, has it gone up? No, definitely, if you're running a business in the house from home, it's definitely not going to be the usual electricity bill. Like, you get an electricity bill of 150 every month. It's definitely going to increase, probably to 170 extra. So you have to budget extra for the heating now. You have to budget extra for electricity. Don't forget, you have to also keep aside miscellaneous. Also, when you're not working from home and you own an office outside, there's always money to be kept aside for miscellaneous. You never know. You could get a broken furniture. You need to fix ASAP. The computer could go down. You need to fix ASAP. Internet issues. All those little things. Door handle. Probably the shelf, broken shelf. There's always something in running a business that you have to set money aside for. How do you set that money aside? Okay, let's say you make a profit of 20 euros every day. You make a profit of 20 euros. You're gonna off from that 20 euros, you're gonna pay your bills. You're gonna sort out a few things. What you can do is, from that 20 euros, just take 5 or 3 euros, and if you have a piggy bank, dump it in there. Every week, make it a habit. Take 4 euros, 5 euros. Okay, this, and don't think about it. Believe you're saving for a rainy day. Yeah. And
Mhm,
that rainy
yeah.
day is definitely yeah. So there's so many ways to go about it. When you're talking about saving and working from home, working in the office, there are a lot of things you can cut off while working from home that you spent while working in the office. And there's some things you can also add, while working from home as well, to make yourself comfortable. Of course, you're going to have to get the office furniture. You're going to have to get a room, well heated room, make yourself comfortable, conducive environment, an office, so to speak. So your money definitely. For startup businesses that are starting from home, or for people coming back home because of COVID, you're going to be spending money on that to get a space, an office space, first of all.
Okay, are you with me?
Yes, I am. Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, so you're talking about, like, okay, so which some of the points that I'm getting from, in terms of budgeting, that you're talking, because we all know that budgeting is just much of like a skill that we need to have. And you're
yeah,
talking about, so let's say eating, you're saving money from eating, but you have, at the same time, you have to figure out how to manage that. Because if you your business, if you have a business premises, you can take that money anyway. What I'm saying is that you can get that expenses from your tax back.
yeah.
So that's one way of savings. If you're not paying for, what do they call this thing that you pay when you rent a place? Council tax.
Property. Yeah.
Yeah, property tax and
Property.
council,
Yeah,
yeah, property tax and council tax that you pay if you're
yeah,
renting a shop outside or an office outside. So starting up your business, all those things, you're cutting it off. So you don't have to invest your money or spend money on doing that, even starting up that business at the initial stage. And these are part of what we're talking about, that small businesses or micro businesses need to be able to save on all those little things from. And then they have the then you feel more comfortable that, yes, I've been able to build that. We've talked today about, you've talked about them having a good plan, having a structure, that if, even though you said you want to start your business from home, you need to create a structure for yourself. So
yeah,
what time am I starting work? So because this is still part of your budgeting. And then
yeah,
you mentioned something that was interesting. You were talking about their lunches, because when you're working outside the home, you spend money going to buy lunch.
yeah.
And if you're working from home, you can, as well, you're saving, because you make those food from home. One of the things I do is that, when you go to an office, you go to office and you go and eat outside, you might spend 10 euro to buy food and eat. But you can spend the same 10 euro at home, but that can last you for 2 days or
Yeah.
3 days. You use that to make so, and that's part of savings as well. So because this is meant to be just, this is our first introduction of our to our finance guru section, which we're going to be doing with our doctor of finance, our finance guru, yeah, which is Ogbeyalu Udeala-okoye. And this is going to be the weekly thing. She's going to come up and give us tips and advice on financial literacy for businesses and individuals that would love to tip into that as well. So before we go, I'd like you just to give a take home. What should be the take home for people for today? Joining us for the first time, getting to meet you, getting to know you, and knowing your background, which we're going to tell people more about your background and all the areas you've worked and all the places you've worked and what you've been doing in the community and how you're going to continue supporting these businesses through the chambers. So, so the first thing I'm going to say is that give us a roundup of all the things you've told us today and that we can take home and we can start profiting from. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sami. Thank you so much for having me. The basic thing to take home is knowing your basic financial literacy. Knowing the components, knowing the skills about saving, investing, borrowing, lending, and miscellaneous. It's actually very important to run a successful business. You have to know these things. You have to have a budget. It is very, very important. You have to have a budget written down. You have to have a strict rule on how to spend your money. You have to follow the basic rules of and components of financial literacy to actually be able to survive in the business world out there.
Thank you very much. So, from myself and from Ogbeyalu, we say a very big thank you to everybody that is watching us out there. I've seen people making comments online. I'm looking at people make. Thank you very much, Komi Abayomi. He said this is a great initiative, and thank you, our finance guru, Ogbeyalu Udeala-okoye, for buying into this great idea of investing in our people, in our community, in African Caribbean businesses within the community. So thank you very much, Komi Abayomi, saying great initiative. Thank you very much, Jude. You sought Ashante all the way from Ghana. You, Jude is also one of those people that tells us about businesses in Africa. So if you are thinking of going to Ghana, Jude is your man. And thank you, Jude, for that. Thank you, Amanda, Sasha. Say thank you so much. So Okoye, people are saying thank you so much for this. I'm really loving this. I'm so delighted. Thank you so much there, Amanda. So I'm hoping that weekly more people will be joining us. Thank you, Omo Olaunimi, Omo Olaunimi. And I think I know that that's one of my friend's moms, uh, all the way from Manchester, UK. So we have people from different places, Belfast, Ghana, all around saying this is a great initiative. And we see you all guys next week, same time. And if there's going to be any change, we'll let you know. But you can go onto our Facebook page and watch this. And we wish you all the best. So bye from me and from you. So yeah, that's it. So sorry. Good.